Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Kendall. This is the first recording to help you with the assignments. I don't think that there's been enough explanation for the assignments, so I want to help you out and see if I can guide you a little bit more so you don't do them and then have to redo them. So we're going to start with Unit 2, and the first assignment in Unit 2 is 2.01, Assignment 1. These are the instructions that you will actually find in the learning system. You are to create a story for a child. It says 5 to 6 years old, but I don't really care what age as long as it's like a children's book. You will explain the brain and its functions to them. You need to use the following terms, they're on the next slide, and explain their functions in simple terms. You're to use the format of a story to keep a child interested, and be sure to use illustrations. You can use characters like Dora or Superman to make the information fun. This assignment is worth 20 points. And here are the requirements. So you have to have the right hemisphere, the left hemisphere, the occipital lobe, the temporal lobe, the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the corpus callosum, the thalamus and hypothalamus, the hippocampus, the brainstem, the convolutions. You have to talk about the general appearance of the brain. What does it look like? It has to be child-friendly, so watch your vocabulary. Don't use super big words, and make sure that your explanations are simple. And then you need to have some drawings or illustrations. Don't worry if you can't draw. Find something on the internet, print it off, and just make sure that you give me the citation for it. Okay, so here's a sample. And I wanted to give you an idea of how I would do this assignment. So don't judge me, I threw this together very quickly. Far, far away in a land in space, there was a knight. He liked adventures. He often left the castle to go on these adventures. One day, he got on his horse and rode off for months. This was the most fun journey he would ever have. He traveled to a land that was just like the inside of a human head. He made many friends there. That should be a period. Oops. Friends that he hopes to go back and see one day. His friend was Hippocampus. He called him Hippo, but he looked nothing like a hippo. He looked more like an elephant, which was good because his job was to help people in the town remember what they had seen and what had happened to them. Okay, so it sounds like a child's story. Hippocampus is the part of the brain that processes memories. And if you remember from my lecture, I talked about how I remember hippo and elephant, big animal, and elephants supposedly have amazing memories. So that's how I always remember hippocampus. But you can see what I've done here is I've taken the hippocampus and I have described what he does. That the hippocampus helps people remember what they've seen and what's happened to them, which is processing the memories. Okay, so here's the truth. If you're not a writer, or you're not very creative, or you don't know that you're creative, this assignment might be a challenge for you. So I challenge you to come up with another assignment to do instead. So you can either do this one and have some fun with it. What I'm really grading is not how great your story is or how great your illustrations are. What I'm grading is that you get the different parts of the brain and you describe them correctly. But if you want to do an alternative assignment, that's absolutely fine by me. So think of something else that you could do that would prove to me that you know the parts of the brain and what they do. That's the main objective of this lesson, is for you to know the brain parts and explain to me what they do. So that's what I'm looking for. So once you've decided on an alternative assignment, then go ahead and send me a K-mail and explain to me what you want to do. I will either approve it or we can talk about how to change it to make it work. So just a couple of random ideas. You could make a model of a brain. and record yourself pointing out each part of the brain to me and telling me what it does. When I've taught psychology in a brick and mortar, my students do make a brain model. They go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or another craft store, and they find clay or something that they can use to make a brain, and then they label all the parts and explain them to me. You could write your own brain part song. If you have watched the YouTube recording, I have put on a brain part song for you. So you could write your own. It could be a song, it could be a rap, it could be whatever. And you would have to record it and send it to me. Another would be that you could draw the brain and label all the parts and scan that somehow, if you have a scanner, and email it to me. So these are just a couple of ideas. You're not limited to these. But you do need to have approval from me if you do an alternate assignment. So very important. You either need to do the assignment as it was given as a children's story, or you need to send me a K-mail, tell me what you want to do, and get approval. So I hope that this helps you do this assignment. And please, absolutely, if you have any other questions, get a hold of me. Call me, K-mail me, message me, ask me now. The earlier the better. Don't sit here and try to do it for 3 days and then decide to get a hold of me. I'm here to help you. So get a hold of me immediately, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. So let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and I hope that this recording helps you with this assignment.